So I came across a journal that I had, a journal entry that I had written a couple of years ago, and I thought I'd read it for you all. Okay, so here it goes. So this is an open letter to deadbeat mothers and the daughters that they've left behind, or children in general. So I was browsing the net one night, and I came across a lot of open letters. I read a lot of them and noticed that many said to the deadbeat dad or to the father who abandoned me. Each of these letters were bashing fathers for leaving their children and putting mothers on some kind of pedestal, as if mothers can't be just as bad. As if mothers can't just up and leave their kids like fathers do. I never once saw a so-called open letter to a deadbeat mother, or even to the child they abandoned. Well, to those of you who think that mothers can do no wrong, here's my open letter to the mother who abandoned me. And to all mothers out there who have done the same. And at the same time, also to the girls who have been abandoned by the woman who's supposed to be their main role model. I wish I could say I love my mother, but I can't. I don't hate her, not anymore, but I used to. Now I just feel nothing, and it sucks. Her leaving made me angry at first, but sometimes I actually thought I, the child, did something wrong. And I wish that I didn't exist, that I wasn't a part of her family, and that she wasn't a part of mine. I wish that I didn't share her DNA, that I didn't come from her at all. In fact, she made me wish that I had never even been born. She told me numerous times growing up that she wished that I didn't exist, or that she wished that I had not been born, that I was dead. She told me how hateful I was and how she hated just the sight of me. I was a small, innocent child. 5 or 6 years old, and here's my mother saying these things. The one person who's supposed to love me more than anyone in the world wished that I didn't exist. My relationship with her was so strained that when CPS would visit, I feared for my life because they were going to take me away from the only family I'd ever known, but I also, secretly, a part of me also wished that they would take me because I'd be placed in foster care, and that would be better than being with her and enduring the physical and emotional abuse. Growing up with her as a mother, it wasn't easy for many reasons. However, my childhood wasn't all horrible, and there were a few times where I did feel like she loved me. But when she left, when I was 17, I questioned if she even cared at all. Kind of makes me wonder if the happy parts of my childhood were maybe just for show. Or maybe not quite as I remember them to be. Like the trips to the amusement parks, to Crystal Palace, to Magic Mountain, the Sunday drives to the beach or the ice cream shop. Did they mean anything? Her cheering at my baseball games, was that just putting on a show? What about all the hugs and kisses, the I love yous, were they ever genuine? Did she ever mean any of it? when she said she was proud of me for winning my public speaking competitions in 4-H, or for graduating high school. Was she just saying those things, or was she ever actually proud of me? My mother lied to me about so many things that I don't even know my biological father, even though I've heard many stories about many different guys over the course of 17 years I spent with her. On and off, of course, because she wasn't always around. It sucks to question whether your whole life was a lie. No one should have to wonder whether they were loved or cared for by the person who gave birth to them. No child should ever have to question their parents' love. I wish my mother realized how much she messed me up. How much I have a hard time letting anyone in. I act like I'm this open book and ask and I'll tell you anything type person, but that's just a front I put up. A lie I tell people in hopes that it does the opposite, that it makes them not question me, not ask me how my day was or what my favorite color is, because those questions, they lead to other things. And usually it works. Or at least they ask about, silly things and just move on. I've also developed a habit of bottling up my emotions to the point where I explode over the simplest things. Maybe I should try writing them in my journal instead. And I'm insecure about the silliest things. For example, when people or friends don't respond to my texts or calls, I feel like it's because I've done something or said something to upset them, or that I'm annoying them. That they don't care. When I'm hanging out with people, I always feel like I'm the unwanted third wheel. And like they're judging me over everything. And when I leave, they'll start talking about me. I know it's not true, not 100%, and that people talk, but, that's only natural. I know that my friends don't hate me, and they aren't annoyed with me. They're probably just busy. But it doesn't make my paranoia or anxiety go away. I shouldn't have to feel this way. No one should. But it's hard not to. So to the people who are not ready to be mothers or don't want children, please wait. And to the mothers out there who, for whatever reason, feel like they don't want to be mothers anymore, please try to stick it out. Your child needs you. Or at least, I'm gonna get hate for saying this, but leave now when your child is young. Yes, it will hurt them, but it'll hurt a lot more if you leave when they're older and they have to question whether you really love them at all, whether their whole life was a lie. To the mothers who love their children with all their hearts and are amazing parents, keep up the great job you're doing. Your kids will appreciate it one day. And now, to the girls who've been abandoned, please remember that you're not alone. Many of us have been in your shoes and know how much it sucks. Especially in those teen, young adult years where Girls need their mothers the most to guide them to become women. Please know that you're important to someone, and you are loved by many people. And you, every single one of you, matters. It's okay to feel lost and hurt and confused. And it's okay to be angry. You have every right. And to hate or still love that parent is alright as well. Your feelings are important and valid, and you have every right to feel however you want to feel about the situation. And the views and opinions of others, try not to let them affect you, even though I know it's hard. Also, keep in mind that just because you feel a certain way doesn't mean the rest of your family does. My mother abandoned me, and I was angry. But she didn't abandon the whole family. I don't have contact with her. Well, she does stalk my Facebook and like my content even though I don't have her as a friend. But that, on a side note, that has stopped now because she's no longer allowed to contact me. There's a no contact order from the police, but at the time that I wrote this was a couple years ago, so anyway, back on track. But many of my family still does talk to her. She may be my absentee deadbeat biological mother, but she's still their sister, their daughter, their cousin, their aunt, or their friend. And they can have their own opinions of her. Please remember, you're loved, and you're wanted, and you are important. And if your mother abandoned you, guess what? She's the one missing out, not you. You have so many people who love you and want you in their lives. So many people who support you and want to see you succeed. Don't let them down just because one irrelevant person abandoned you. My whole life, I felt as if people would look down on me because of who my mother was. Because she was on welfare and she abused the system and she didn't do anything with her life. I felt as if people expected me to be this good-for-nothing kid who, was spoiled and entitled and thought the world owed her something. Who would never succeed or go to school, graduate, go to college, or get a job. But I did all those things. And people actually come up to me and tell me how proud they are. Like they honestly expected that I wouldn't. I got really off topic, but they seem to think that just because you are abandoned by your parents or that your mother is a terrible person, that you're going to turn out that way. And the thing is, you're not. Because you aren't your mother, and you aren't your father. You're you. You're your own special person, and things may not always be perfect. Things might seem really grim right now, but it does get better. So, keep your chin up and make that mother regret abandoning you.